Okay, so let's talk today about curl and press. Okay, there's lots of different ways you can do this. Two moves: bicep curl, overhead press. I like to link them together so we're getting a full upper body move happening at the same time. Different people do them different ways. I do it different ways. Depends what your goal is and what outcome you're looking for. For most of the people that I'm working with, or you guys, we're looking for general fitness, general sort of body mobility, whereas, for example, someone else might be looking at muscle growth and, you know, really trying to pop those biceps. You guys, most of you, are not really at that stage right at the moment, so that explains some of my reasoning. So with your dumbbells, we're looking at bicep curl and the overhead press. Okay, so two moves. We could just do curls on their own. We could just do press on their own. I like to combine them. Okay, so let's talk about how I do it versus how other people might do it. So I see a lot of people when they're doing the curl, they've got the weights in front, they've got the palms facing up, which is correct, and as they come down they're staying here and up and here. So this is the bottom position. Okay, so even if we extend out and some people are coming down to here, you can see that we're still not fully straightening the arm. Okay, now it's good if we want to really put some stress on the bicep, because you can see there, even in that bottom position, my bicep is still popping there. Okay, which is good, but it's also putting a lot of strain on my elbow there, particularly if I go heavy with the dumbbell. Okay, because that's still under quite a lot of tension on that joint. So for a beginner, I probably wouldn't want to put that much tension on an elbow. People that are wanting those popping biceps and they've already been doing quite a bit of weight training, they've probably built up a good fundamental base, they might start working on, okay, how can I get that extra little bit out of what I'm doing? So what I prefer to do is, rather than keeping this stress position here, is I'd rather see you come down, just rotate the dumbbell around and bring it right down to your side. So we've got full extension of the arm, so we're taking that arm through the complete range of motion, all the way up to the shoulder, all the way back down to the side. And in this bottom position, we're just easing off. You can see now my bicep is nice and relaxed. We've not got that pop going on that we had through that position. Okay, so we've got a little bit of relaxing at the bottom. So that's the first thing with the curl. So we've got that rotation. So it's literally that last little bit as it comes down. So we've got this focus on the bicep all the way down, all the way down. Don't rotate too early. As we start to feel that pressure going into the elbow, we're coming down towards the hips, is when we're just going to rotate and come down to our finish position. Coming up, as soon as we're clear of the hip and the thigh, get that bicep activated and come up. Okay, so that's your bicep curl. Rotate at the bottom, rotate, come up. Okay, see a lot of people rotating very early and coming down, or coming up and rotating very late. If you feel your own bicep, you'll feel when you do that the difference in the activation. Coming up with it, staying this way, is a legitimate technique as well. That's what we call a hammer curl, and sometimes I might ask you to do that. That activates slightly different muscles in the arm. It still works the bicep, but it takes a lot more into these outer muscles of the arm as well, and it comes a lot more into the forearm as well. So that's a better move actually for a full arm workout, rather than just isolating the biceps. And if anybody's got any kind of elbow injuries or any kind of pains, I might get them to do that as a less stressful technique. So that's the bicep curl part of the move. Coming into the overhead press, Again, we've got two ways that we could do it. So we could keep that hammer grip with the weight facing this way, and we could just press up, straight up overhead into this position. This is quite a nice move. It's quite stress-free on the shoulder joint. So if anybody's got a shoulder injury, I might get them to do that. What I prefer to see people doing is out here and up. The reason that I prefer that is because we get a much better back workout when we do that. So we're pushing that shoulder back, and we start to get all of the trapezius muscles up the top here involved, and as we press up, you'll feel through the lats in the back here as we go up. So we're working all of those back muscles, whereas this is predominantly just the shoulder and a bit of bicep still going on. So let's look at how we're going to do that. So we've got our bicep curl, rotate and up to our shoulders. Now we need to get them up overhead. So we want to rotate as early as possible and get those back muscles involved as soon as we can. We don't want to hit ourselves in the face with the weights. So as we come up, we're going to clear our face first, rotate and up. So back into our bicep position, rotate and up. Okay. And then as they're going up overhead, we want to make sure that they are overhead. So I see a lot of people pressing up over here. Some of that is to do with poor shoulder mobility and a lack of range of movement in that area. But what I want to see if you can is to try and keep your arms and your biceps really close to your ears. So our weights are pretty much touching in the middle, and we're hugging our ears with the biceps. So the benefit of that is that we're going to take some strain out of the shoulder. So when we come up over here, we're loading that shoulder at an angle, okay? And that's putting a bit of stress there through that shoulder joint. If we come up here, this weight now is coming straight down through the body. So it's dispersing at a much nicer angle, and it's not putting any kind of weird strains that we'd get over there. Okay, so much less chance that we're going to tear any ligaments or anything inside that shoulder joint. Okay, so from there we rotate, and we're going to squeeze all of these muscles back, push the shoulder back, push the elbow back, so that we can feel those trapezius muscles engaging, and then as we push up, we'll feel those lats helping to raise up, and as we come down, those lats are going to help to pull us back down, so we're keeping everything at the back here engaged as we pull through that. So the complete move from the bottom, as soon as we're clear of the hips, we're going to rotate, we're coming up to the shoulders, and then as we come up past the head, we're rotating, and we're coming up with our arms close to our ears and our weights almost touching or touching above the head. Okay, so this is your position here. Remember, in your pelvis tuck, and to pull your tummy in nice and tight so that we're not loading weight into the lower back. So a good strong core. Okay, as you come down, I'm not too worried about hand position, provided that it's done under control. So the way that I do it personally is from that top position, I will come back down, probably in that hammer position, bringing the elbows back in and dropping down, just because that's the most comfy way to do it. So we're using our rotation on the way up, and then coming into hammer to come back down again. Okay, so that's how I like to see a curl and press done. Okay.